And we are live. Welcome, welcome. It's a pleasure to have everybody today. Wedge Wednesday. Today is April the 3rd, 2024. I'm joined by the three-time Jeremy Swinson next to me. Also welcoming in Paulie Parputz and Country Club Chad. We're here on a victory lap. Another victory lap. Another Wednesday. I hope you tailed. Hope you had Jaeger. You know,
No, we did a
maybe did some
Jaeger bomb
shots
on
of
Sunday
Jaeger.
night.
Yeah, some Jaeger flowing on Sunday night. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there
Boys,
was.
how are we doing today? Paulie Parputz, welcome. Chad, welcome as well too. Chad, how's the dog?
The dog is good.
Perfect.
Inside now and calm and quiet.
It sounds very tranquil in your background right now, so that's a definite positive. Paulie, how are we doing today, sir?
Outstanding.
It sounds like it.
Could not be better.
I'll tell
Boys,
you one thing.
yeah.
Jaeger's never tasted so good.
I tell you what, Jaeger has never tasted so good. Congratulations, another hit, another week. Listen, keep on giving you money. You guys got to start, taking advantage of this if you're not. What was the number that we had on Jaeger?
I had him at 50.
50 to 1. 50 to 1. What were your thoughts? Obviously, a little bit tighter coming down the stretch there. And, you're thinking the entire time that, Scotty is just at some point going to turn this on and run away from it. He's putting well. He gets it up there. What, 7 feet on 18?
Yeah, yep.
I didn't watch the very end of it. You want to walk us through that last little hole and how tight your butt was puckered?
Oh, I as soon as he hit that shot, I was like, "Oh, we're going to a playoff and it's over. And Scotty's going to win." But then, in true Scotty fashion, the biggest putt mattered. He missed it. So got lucky. Jaeger actually played. He only parred out like the back nine, but he did have a few shots there that they were big par saves. Uh, and then there's a couple shots on the par threes off the tee that he went right at the pin. He didn't act like he was scared. He was ready for the moment, and I mean, he didn't lose it. He stayed humble and stuck to his guns and what he's good at, and he made some key shots, and he hung on and won. So all we could ask for.
Paulie, how did we finish up? Just a quick recap. Any other top 10s or 20s or anything that we had that we hit on this week?
I did not. I know we did
Meant like as a group, as a total,
as a grand scheme. I think probably Jeremy could help us out better with the list there.
I got the list here for us. First off, Steven Jaeger, Chad had him, so we got that. Alex Noren was finished in 11th. I took him top to finish in the top 20. That was good for me. We also had looks like Tom Hogue was another guy we had in there. Billy Horschel, my little sleeper, ended up finished T7. That was pretty nice. Cam Davis, top 20, 21st, so not there yet. Let's see. Mackenzie Hughes was another one that Chad and I talked about. Mackenzie finished T14. So we had some guys in there that a pretty good number right there.
Yeah, Paulie Parputz was just happy for the outright to save his ass from all the other damage.
Definitely take the outright 50 to 1.
I mean,
nothing to sniff at.
Just
where do we? So we're obviously moving on. We are looking at TPC San Antonio this week, Paul. Is that correct?
yeah. TPC San Antonio, the Charlie Hoffman Open. Let me see here. We have. I have. Dang it! you know what? It's all right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this together. TPC San Antonio. I call it the Charlie Hoffman Open because he's famous here for being like a multi-millionaire just off of this one event.
Yeah, he's won it, and he's got like five top four or four top fives or something like that after that too. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's got a shirt with the flag and like it's made out and it looks like the logo, but it says Charlie Hoffman Open on it. It's pretty nice. Now, one thing I will say is this week with this course, where they are in Texas with the amount of weather and everything else. This is actually going to be more POA trivial than it is Bermuda. Last year, the Bermuda, because the weather grew out. So, I've been harping on, don't call it POA, it's Bermuda. This week it's going to be more POA, which just means slower. This is really a kind of a course and a place where putting is kind of negated. So guys like Corey Connors, who Connors
won
won
last
here
year?
twice. Yeah, he's won here
Yeah.
twice last year and once before that. Get bailed out. One of the kind of terms around the industry is team no putt. So it's guys who don't generally putt well can be on these greens, and it's kind of an equalizer. I'm trying to find out the. I'm not in my home office today. I'm on the. I'm working remotely, so.
It looks like I'm looking at right now 51 degrees in terms of weather, and wind gusts at 18 miles an hour.
Yeah, the wind is
so,
really what the factor is. Yeah, most of these guys have, comfy pullovers, and they are used to playing in anywhere from high 40s to high 90s. But the wind is kind of going to be the narrative this week, and Chad will discuss that in a bit once I get to the golf course superintendent. What the hell is that?
I got this course at 7,438 yards.
Oh,
it is a par 72.
Average green size 6,400 square feet.
okay.
So these guys are taking over your job, Paul.
No, it's fine. They found the fact sheet quicker than I did. Thank God. Yeah. So you're also reading that there's only 35 acres of rough with 35 acres of fairway. Not penal. Rough is not penal. You can
Not penal.
Nope. You can hit it in the rough and you can get on the green.
The one thing though is you can't go too far off because then you're gonna be in the trees. There are trees lines, so.
Yeah.
But that's pretty far off.
So are we targeting guys who maybe bomb the ball a little bit more?
No.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
No, where last week was more of a bombers deal, which I don't know if anybody knew. I mean, a lot of people found out this week what some of us already knew is Steven Yeager can move the ball off the tee. I mean, that
Straight.
dude was like clotheslines going out 340. Beautiful. It was
Malnati had a hole-in-one this week.
It was very nice to watch. His yellow ball. Yeah.
His yellow ball went in the hole.
Dude, like when you're hot, you're just hot, bro. Like that's insane.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so the fairway widths are 25 to 30 yards in the landing areas, which is not super wide. I think they were 40, 45 last week. And the way this course is set up, the par fives are really tough here. But we'll get into the brass tacks of this, but the course makeup isn't nearly as important as the type of golfer we're looking for. I know Chad's going to talk about that.
Yeah, Chad, what are we looking at? Texas golf. What are we looking at here this week?
Well, just like last week, it's going to be a little bit harder conditions as far as the ground. So you're going to have runoff or run out, so it doesn't play as long as it says in the 7,400. That's why you don't really need to be a bomber to be good here. If you look at some of the past winners, there's definitely not bombers included. It's just guys who are going to be able to hit it straight and then stick an approach with greens and regulation. And like Paul said earlier, the putting, it brings the putting into brings the good putters back to the field, because a lot of people are going to be able to putt on these slower greens because it's just, you don't have to have the same feel for it. And with Paul saying that the fairways are only 25, 30 yards wide, it brings in the rough, considered rough, but it's only like an inch 1.5 to 2 inches, so it's not penal at all. And there's actually a stat that we found somewhere that you actually have a higher birdie percentage rate from the rough than you do the fairway. I feel like it's because there's more shots coming from the rough, but we didn't really get into that. So I just feel like
it's something about greens and regulation. So there's a higher percentage of shots from the rough end up as greens and regulation than from the fairway.
Yeah, but because with
that's
the
a
fairways
volume.
being so small, with the fairways being so small in width, I feel like a lot of people are missing the fairways. It's just a thing where it's not big to hit the fairway here. But you're gonna have the guys, your ball strikers like Corey Connors, Jordan Spieths, people like that are, the guys are going to be able to hit greens and regulation from just about anywhere, just because they're great iron players. But
Right.
With
that being said, who are we looking at top of the board?
My top of the board, I'm just going to go with Corey Connors. Hit 25-1. He has 2 wins here in the last 4 years. He's going for the back-to-back. This type of field, it's not very heavy. So I feel like the way he's playing right now, he's got 2 top 20s his last 2 times out at 2 harder courses. So I feel like he's playing well enough. And his strokes gained approach the last 2 outings were +3 and +6. So I feel like he's on his game right now, and that's his MO. And tee to green is 5.7 and 5.2. So he's doing what he does well, and if he's doing that, this is his type of course. It's pretty much the perfect course for him, where you're gonna get off the tee and then hit a nice approach in, and your putting doesn't have to be great. And that's his cup of tea. So I'm just gonna stick with him at 25-1. That's my only guy on the top of the board I'm going to be targeting this week. So,
Paul, anybody you got top of the board?
Yeah. So the name of the game this week is ball striking. It's tee to green stuff with the ability to just break even on the greens and win. And I don't know if there's a guy who's a better ball striker on the planet right now. That's in this field because it's Scotty Scheffler. But then second place might be Hideki Matsuyama, and you get him north of 20 in a field where he plays well this time of year. He's won at Augusta. He is just if he is tee to green in it, he's going low. So I would say for the top of the board, the only guy I'd be looking at is Hideki. And we are looking at. Oh, I have a visitor. Yeah, the one thing that we're looking at are the 2 favorites, Rory and depending on the book, you're looking at Ludwig Aubert is at the top, and Chad was mentioning matchups, and I think we're leaning Ludwig in that one versus Rory.
Heard that. Anybody looking more middle of the board here, Chad?
Middle of the board, I'm going to be looking at a guy that plays this course very well. He's had 3 top 5s and then another 11th place in his career at this course. Is going to be Billy Horschel. He's obviously playing well. Got 7th last week. So he's at 30, 35, around there if you can find him. And then a guy that, like we said, it's going to be windy because it's in Texas. He came out with a good showing last week in Texas with
Akshay.
You know it, baby. You know it. I mean, why not? Why jump off the train when it's hot? Keep riding it.
I feel like while I'm here with Akshay, I might as well just go ahead and mark down Seabez for Paul as well too, because it's another week.
I already bet him Monday, so that bet was in. Yeah, he looks good in our model. He plays well here as well.
Cool. Anybody else you got middle of the board, Chad?
We also did make a bet on Tom Kim.
Yes.
so we can go ahead and throw him in there. Paul, did you have any other guys in the middle?
Yeah, so two guys that are really getting talked up a lot. Alex Noren is like industry darling this week in this range. And while I believe that he does all the things that you'd want a guy to do, I would say maybe lighten the load on the outrights and then go a little heavier on the T20 with Alex Noren. He's 10 in our regular model. He's 5 in our fine-tuned model. So he's looking like the numbers are saying all the right things.
Yeah,
But
he's got 3 top 20s in the last 3 outings. So
yeah, you just go back and you look at what he's done. I mean, even
seems like
if
he
you
might not
went,
be able to win.
even if you yeah, if you went with he's the kind of guy who's he's not doing what Steven Yeager did last week. So he gets on that 18th tee on Sunday and
Blows it.
finds behind a spot behind a tree.
He Cam Young's it.
Yeah, or Mito Pereira's it, or any number of other guys that
Wow,
we've watched.
just bring them all against me, huh? Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we've just watched outrights go down the tubes because Matt Kuchar had to sit in a fairway for 25 minutes while Jordan Spieth went on a manhunt for a golf ball behind trailers. Just wondering how long it would take for that to come up again. But
I did win that one though.
So Noren probably would be more of a sprinkle across kind of deal, which is you bet the top 20, you bet the top 10, maybe even throw a top 5 in, and then go real light on the outright because you're collecting all the winning on the other stuff. Another guy who has played very well lately and quietly is trending in the right direction that a lot of the industry is talking about, and I'm not necessarily on him this week, but to mention Harris English. Plays decent in Texas. Tee to green game is very good right now. Trending in the right direction.
You said you're not on him though?
I likely will not have an outright bet on Harris English, but it may be something where he ends up in a match. If you can get him against one of the guys that we'd be less likely to bet, or another top 20 bet for value. He's a guy who may be maybe a little bit more value than some of the other guys in that range. He's getting kind of overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like around 40, 50, something like that.
Yeah, I think he's 45-ish.
Anybody you got, Chad?
Billy Ho and Akshay. Are you talking about going longer than that?
Well, I guess we can do. Jeremy, you got any whatabouts you want to ask the boys about?
Well, they took the one guy I was going to ask about was Harris English. He was one of my guys I was looking at. Seabez, of course. We just played at the home of Hideki, so I liked him as well.
Yeah.
Matt Fitzpatrick is trending in what I'm in some of the models I'm reading and stuff like that. Finishing 5th at the Players and could ride a hot putter this week. So he's one of my guys that I'm looking at.
I guess my whatabout would be Tommy Fleetwood, and I think I may be a prisoner of the moment in watching that video that I sent to the group of him hitting every single shot known to man.
What shot shape did I say he couldn't do?
A W.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you got to get off the schneid sometime.
Jeff.
Maybe honestly, Tommy Fleetwood might not ever.
Like, real question: how many guys on tour do you think could duplicate exactly what Tommy Fleetwood did in that video?
I'm sure most of them could.
Everyone.
I'm sure.
There's
I just
guys
thought
on
it was
YouTube that can do it.
Insanely impressive.
Yeah, for a person who's not very good at golf to watch somebody who's great at golf. By the way, this coming from a person who's not good at golf at all. But yeah, like weekend warrior versus PGA professional. Yeah, I bet watching his ball flight's different than yours.
It's crazy to think I played pretty well yesterday. I made 3 birdies. I shot 83. Hideki played there. was a good round, right? And
Yeah.
it's a very creative course. Like you have to like I literally me and Jared time after the round, I think I hit like 5 or 6 8-iron bump and runs, throughout the day, just because like that's kind of like you have to like be a little creative with it. But I'm seeing the course shot 21 strokes better than I did from the tips. Just a little perspective. like,
Course record 62 from the Faldo tips. Never
Yeah.
played it.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good
he's
at
pretty
golf.
good at golf.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, that's like the perspective of like, how good these guys really are. It's absolutely.
How many green jackets do you have in your closet?
I have a green sweater.
That counts.
Yeah, sure. The Bella Colina sweater.
We did go heavy on some merch there yesterday as well too.
Ugh.
Did
Wow.
did Mr. Green get you the old discount?
No.
Oh.
We paid full bore.
Can't wait to see that out.
Guys running a business, man. It was funny because my wife was questioning me about it too. She's like, "Oh, why would you want Bella Colina stuff? Like, you didn't buy Bay Hill stuff. Why would you want Bella Colina stuff?" I'm trying to explain to her that the Bella Colina stuff is like
You can't just go out there and buy it.
I could just go to Bay Hill if I wanted to and buy a Bay Hill.
Go on.
Go to Bella Colina and buy a shirt. I don't know. Just to me, it seemed more justified, but maybe. That being said, back to golf. Long shots that we're looking at this week.
Paul, you want to go ahead and
Paul, go
finish
ahead
it
and
off?
give us
Yeah,
some.
I'll rattle off mine real quick. No surprise. We're gonna go back to the well on Bud Cauley, who has gone tee to green very well and just cannot make a putt. I mean, that poor dude. He's like approach from 177 to 12 feet, and then par. Yeah. So Bud Cauley again. He's around 90 or 100. Guy named Chandler Phillips. He's been playing well recently. I guess he's a Texas guy or something. I don't know. He's
I'm
high
sure
in the
Chad
model.
knows him.
Yeah, he's a Texas guy. Went to
He's high in
A&M.
the model. Probably a bad time to jump off of Doug Gim again in Texas.
He doesn't play Texas very well, though.
I know, but he's still like at 110. I'm not gonna miss. Like, it's not gonna be Doug Gim week, and I'm not gonna be on him at 110 to 1. Like,
Yeah, I get it.
For $5, I can cover my weekend. And then the chalkiest of all chalk of long shots this week is Ryan Moore. Everybody's talking about him. Like, it's been, if you read X, which formerly Twitter, listen to a podcast, do anything else, I bet the articles that the 3-time has been looking at has seen Ryan Moore written there in black and whites. And then a guy who I like is Joel Damon. I see him at 200, and he's number 3 in our model and number 8 in our fine tune. And that's over the last 24 rounds. He's doing some things really well. Ball striking, he's 3rd. Proximity, 3rd. Tee to green, 2nd. Approach, 3rd. So seems like a good week for Joel Damon to get a win at 200 to 1. And that'll do it for my long shots.
Chad?
I'm going to have a few more than I usually have as far as long shots go, because I'm so light on the top and middle, because I'm looking for value this week, and I didn't really see a lot like through the top. So I'm going to be looking at, obviously, I'm going to do Charlie Hoffman. This is his event. He's actually probably playing better than he had a 2nd at Waste Management, so he's already playing better than he has in a while. I'm going to definitely do him at 100 to 1. Another guy that pops in our models, he's 20th on the fine tune and 8th in the course model, or 18th and 3rd, I'm sorry, is Mark Hubbard. Here's a guy, definitely, he's straight off the tee, good approach guy. Not great with the putter, but better than most. So he has a good shot here. Another guy that finished well here last year and is starting to come into form. Had a couple of top 20s his last 2 times out. Is Adam Schenk. He's another big ball striking guy. He's starting to come into his own again. Going to go back to old Lucas Glover. He's a guy that plays this course well. Another known for his ball striking. As far as course between 2017 and 2023, he is the third lowest average at the course. So there's another guy that can strike it well here. Another guy, TPC Lee, KH Lee, plays TPC courses very well. He's at 90-1. I can't see why not, throwing $5 on him, a couple top 10, top 20s maybe. He's a TPC guy. It's a TPC course. So, you get those two things together, and he plays in Texas well. So it all adds up to probably going to be a pretty good week for him, and he's playing well right now. So, you can't really go against that. And last but not least, guy that's from North Texas, Sam Stevens. So he plays Texas course as well. See, he's at 200-1 also as far as the Joel Damon bet. So maybe we can get a couple of those top 10s, top 20s, maybe squeak out a win with one of those guys and hit it big, because there's no Scotty here, just Rory trying to play for the Masters. So we don't see him contending because he's going to be doing shots that are trying to win for next week. So that's all he's really doing. So that's why I would say definitely take any matchups against Rory this week, because he's going to be focused on other things, not this week.
Heard that. What? Moving on. Looking at some first round leaders that we like. I always love these odds. They always look great to me. You're talking about, you're getting, Matsuyama first round leader at 40-1, as opposed to his overall price for the entire week at 22.50. It's always very enticing. Any first round leaders that we like?
I would look at some of these guys that definitely have good rounds or good average scoring here. Then they can sometimes go low. I would definitely look at Charlie Hoffman. That's already a bet I put in along with Paul. Kevin Stroman has a good record here. He can definitely go low. Ryan Moore is another one. We mentioned him earlier. Guy that he can shoot a low round but then just blow up.
Yeah, he's a Thursday guy.
Yeah. Maybe someone like Andrew Putnam. He's high up in our model. If he can get hot, he seems like a guy that can definitely get out there and go low. He plays this course pretty well too. So maybe the Texas boys, Chandler Phillips. I like those guys that kind of know the how the course is going to play.
Yeah, I'd say any of the long shots really, and then one guy, Baby Huey, Bo Hostler.
Yeah.
He in Texas, he comes out on fire, and then you barely see him hit a shot on the weekend. One guy I did want to mention that is in the field, and I said I'd mention him every time that he's in the field because I think he's going to win at some point, is Matty Schmid. Matty Schmid is in the field this week, so let that be known. He'll win eventually. But yeah, first round leaders already bet. Charlie Hoffman, Bo Hostler is a lock for first round leader bet. And then any of the long shot guys, or like Jai was saying, just guys with a track record of strokes gained around here. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be there on Sunday, but it's nice to see their name up on Thursday and give you a little playing money for the weekend.
Aaron Baddeley.
Oh, he's a guy.
Yeah, he's actually fifth in the average score from the years 17 to 23. He's fifth in average. So Brant Snedeker's fourth. And I just brought up the round one model, and he comes out at seventh. Baddeley's seventh. Stroman eighth. Maybe Mark Hubbard. He's 10th. Putnam 11. Hoffman 15. So there's some guys out there that they can definitely get out there, go low. Corey Connors is number 1. In case you guys
Mike
are.
Mully at number 3. We're looking
So-
at 2 different.
Obviously,
Yes,
we are 1 week away from probably our favorite week in golf in general, and that is the Masters. Any early thoughts that we have or look aheads that we're looking at that we might want to dabble on or bet that we can find? Chad, I'll start with you.
Well, I already got Will Zalatoris at 30-1. I got him back when they were playing in California at I want to say it was a Genesis, and he was playing really well. And I wanted to get ahead of that because I thought that he was going to he's a good fit for there. I think he's got a couple of top 5s, maybe definitely top 10s there. So I got him at 30.
He's
Another
still
guy
there,
that
by the way, at 30.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't beat the odds on that one. Oh well. Guy that if he probably won't drop below 20, but if he does, Jordan Spieth. I mean, it's his type. That's what he's known for. Like he plays there well. Hideki, obviously, if he's north of 2025, I would definitely get on that.
He's at 25 now. Jordan's at 20.
Both of
All
those
right,
are
good.
good numbers.
Yeah, those are good numbers if you can get on those.
Is Rom at 13 a good number?
I don't think so. I just don't. I mean, you got what? Rahm at 13. Brooks is like 15 or 20.
17.
Yeah.
They're
So
warming up at the Blue Monster this week.
DJ
Ooh.
at 40. DJ at 40
That's
is
the same.
interesting
DJ at 40 might be a bet.
because
Probably a
He's playing kind of well right now. I haven't followed Liv, but I thought I heard something or
he's
I
the
don't
same
wanna-
price as Shane Lowry and Cam Young. I don't know. I just like, yeah, I don't know. Give me
He
DJ.
did win in November.
Okay, so November is a long time ago.
No. I mean, when the Masters was in November.
Oh. Yeah, I mean I could back DJ at 40.
40 is not a bad number for a previous winner at a place
Right.
where guys win multiple jackets.
Yes. A guy that I feel like
Don't hate it.
you know where I'm going. He's not in the field this week because he's gearing up for the Masters. I didn't get to say his name. Return of the Sahith. Sahith Theegala, I think, is at 50. So
Yeah.
I would get on 50-1 for him. He feels like he's going to become an all-around golfer that's going to be pretty good at this thing.
Is Brian Harmon just doesn't hit the ball far enough to bet him at the Masters?
Yeah, for some reason he does not play well at the Masters.
So weird. You would think. I don't know.
I mean, he's accurate and all that, but just
Georgia guy too.
yeah. He's just it's too much
some
for him, I
reason,
think.
Adam
Yeah,
Scott
maybe it
could
just
be
means
terrible
too
and
much.
somehow always plays the Masters well. Like,
Yeah, because long and straight off the tee usually. So
yeah.
and he's got the ball shape. It's funny how because like most of the dog legs I feel are right to left. So guys that can draw the ball and lefties, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But
The
All right.
one guy that I'll say that's probably up at the top, shorter odds than most people would like him at, because he's not like yet known as a winner, especially in majors, is Xander. After Scotty, there's not really anybody playing consistently as well as Xander has over the course of the last 6 months. He's played well at Augusta before. I think he's a guy who could certainly be wearing a green jacket on Sunday.
We've heard so much too about like Joaquin Neiman playing so well over there and Liv as well too. But 25 just seems like
I feel like he's getting too much credit right
yeah,
now.
it seems like he's over or whatever it is. There's no value there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, the number got so steamed.
Yeah.
What about Patrick Cantlay or Max Homa? What are their numbers at?
Patrick's at 30. Max is at 40.
Oh, I could see
Maxi.
some value in both of those, maybe.
Yeah.
What was Xander?
Xander is 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
Xander
mean-
and Speed are both at 20.
that's
And
right
then-
where I expected him to be.
Yeah.
Ludwig starts the run of 25s with Hideki, JT, Hovland, Joaquin Neiman. But it's crazy because these live guys, adding them, like if we had, I don't know, I don't want to get into it, but if
You
we
know
had,
I'm gonna
like,
fade.
if we had this, like, looking at this board right here, I just wish we could have this every week.
Are you gonna fade Ludwig because it's his first time there?
No, I'm gonna fade Taylor Gooch because he's a cooch.
I don't think he made the field.
Oh, good. I don't have to worry about winning that money then.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the event. I think.
Oh, that's
anything-
right. That's why he was so mad and saying that Rory would only be at the dinner if he was waiting table or whatever. Was he the one that said that?
No, Taylor was the
No.
one that said about.
Oh, the asterisks.
Yes.
There'd be an asterisk if he won it because he's not there. What a dumbass.
Somebody just asked me if Noah is at school. I'm gonna assume that's one of his friends. Who's
Oh,
Who's
now,
listening to the show?
now is the part in the show where everything goes off the rails and we start talking about nonsense.
Noah's friend is listening to the show. That's awesome.
That was the time that Jeremy needs to jump off the show. is what that-
Learning young.
Jeremy's about to die. I tell
It
you,
looks like he's about to die.
That's a different shade
What?
of green on you, kid.
I got him. You know,
All right.
he's hurt. He's wounded.
Shook.
You know. Anything else
You
we got,
boys-
boys?
You need to try that new drink,
No.
the A game or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm peacing out early.
Hashtag sponsor.
I'll talk to you guys this weekend.
All right,
All
later,
right,
Paulie.
boys.
Chad,
All
thank
right.
you. Appreciate it, guys. Good luck to everybody this week. Again, Jeremy, do you want to go ahead and give a rundown real quick as they hop off of the picks that we have?
Yep.
Just for a
Chad,
quick recap.
Chad's going Corey
Sid.
Connors. In the middle of the line, he's got Billy Horschel, Akshay Bhatia, Tom Kim, his long shots, Charlie Hoffman at the Charlie Hoffman Open, Mark Hubbard, Adam Shank, Lucas Glover, K.H. Lee, and Sam Stevens. Paulie Parputz, Hideki Matsuyama, Ludwig Hebert at the top. He likes Alex Noren with a little sprinkling with Christian Bezuidenhout as well. His long shots, of course, is the comeback player of the year, Bud Cauley, Chandler Phillips, Ryan Moore, Joel Damon, and he wanted to make mention that Matthias Schmidt is in the field. Jeff, you and I have got Matt Fitzpatrick and Tommy Fleetwood, even though the boys think you're dumb for that. And the first round leaders we're looking at is going to be Charlie Hoffman, Kevin Streelman, Ryan Moore, Andrew Putnam, Chandler Phillips, Aaron Badley, or even Bo Hostler, who I got for $2.
Hey, Chad, quick question for you. Do we
Yeah.
find any correlation between tee times, morning or afternoon, for first round leaders?
Yes, on some of these courses, because where the wind picks up around noon usually, a lot of these guys have most of their round done if they're getting out early. And you got to think about they're the first ones getting the greens when they're pristine. Like they haven't been walked all over. So your putting surface is going to be a lot cleaner.
So I did want to mention just some notable early tee times that we have of different guys who we have talked about as first round leaders. One would be Charlie Hoffman at 8:42. That we have.
Love it.
Great, right? Because he's almost going to be done before noon. You also have Corey Connors at 8:53. That's going to be right there as well too. So just a couple little things that we're throwing out and things to kind of be mindful of as well.
Yeah, definitely with a
KHD
place like
too,
this,
right? 926.
Yeah,
What's
I would take KH Lee for the first round leader. TPC
Great
course is his type of course, so
yeah. So just kind of narrowing down, maybe,
yeah, like to listeners, if you're looking at like toss between two people, like I would definitely go with the earlier tee time. Someone's definitely AM guy
for sure,
especially the course like this where the wind's going to pick up
in Texas. Any
Yes,
thoughts about
but it is Texas.
Stephon Diggs to the Texans, Chad?
Dude, when they made these moves earlier, I got the Texans at 35-1 to win it all. So I'm stoked.
They have one of the best rosters in the NFL, no doubt.
As long as they can play defense, like I know they got Lovie Smith, so he'll probably not Lovie Smith. Jesus, he's the one that got him to this spot by
Jesus
blowing
Christ.
their number one pick. Yeah, but
Nico Ryans.
yeah, Miko Ryans is gonna he'll get that defense set up. He did great in San Fran, so I feel like he'll get them straight, and that division is pretty much locked up. I think, unless CJ Stroud goes down, which we hope does not happen, because he's got tons of weapons everywhere. The offensive line seemed like it was pretty decent last year, so
Yeah, Larry Tunsil up, as your cog is a pretty good start and base
yeah,
to go for. So works out. If you're looking at it right now, the Houston Texans are down to 16-1.
nice.
Plus 1600 that you have on there. The same number as the Philadelphia Eagles. So
Wow.
you know.
Yeah, I got him at 35, so
Yeah, you got
I'm
a great
stoked.
number on it. Cool.
Hopefully everyone stays healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm gonna try and do now.
Yeah, good luck, Jeremy. Hope you feel better.
You need to get healthy, bud, not stay healthy.
Yep.
That burger's hurting you, huh?
It's fire.
Burger was great.
But on that note, let's end this.
All right, guys.
We will see you guys again next week. Big week next week. We will have the Masters preview. I'm sure boys will have their green jackets on. Jeff will have his green sweater, and we'll talk all about the guys that we like then. Until then, we will see you next week at another edition of Gap Wedge Wednesday. Place your bets and make some money, guys.
Be great.